In the previous classes, we have seen regarding your tunnel ventilation system. In today's class, we will be observing regarding how the your drainage can be done in the tunneling. Okay. Now, can anybody tell me some points why drainage is going to be necessary? Right? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody give some points on why drainage system is going to be necessary, or what is drainage system? Yes. Can anybody tell me regarding drainage system, why it is necessary? Nachikit, why drainage system is going to be necessary in case of your tunnels?
Uh, so to avoid to provide a protection to the roads in kinds of
Protection in the sense, what
when
sense?
the means water will stay on the road, so it will cause a damage to the road.
Okay. Any other answers? Okay. So as we know that your tunnels, we have the section across the your say hill, right? Hill or a mountain, right? So when we are going to have a hill on a mountain, right? Whenever the precipitate is going to occur, either if it is a rock, right? If it is a rock, or if it is a soil, right? What will happen is, it is since it is if it is going to have the pores inside it, the water will come through those particular pores, right? And we are going to have the openings near into your tunnel. If we don't provide, right? If we don't provide any say drainage facility in your tunnel, then the water pressure will increase, and there may be right? There is no room for a water. Sorry, there was an interruption, right? So what I was telling, um, when we don't have any of the openings inside our tunnel, then the water pressure may increase, right? The water pressure may increase beyond your tunnel lining. Above your tunnel lining, the water pressure will increase. So that is the reason why we needed to give the protection to the our your tunnel lining. If we don't provide the protection, then the water pressure on the tunnel, it is going to increase, and there may be a fail due to the increased water pressure. There may be the failure may occur. So in order to provide, right, the safety to the tunnel, what we needed to have is, we needed to have the proper drainage facility. Okay, so now we will see what is drainage of the tunnel, right? So drainage of tunnel, it is a means of controlling of water during and after construction of the tunnel. Okay, so controlling of water is going to be attained by preventing the excess quantity of water from entering the tunnel and removing the water from into the tunnel. So this is what we are going to do in tunnel. Drainage is nothing but the draining out the water which is going to enter into the tunnel. So that is what the draining is. In driving a tunnel, right, we are going to have the two types of sources that we are going to have the water, right? So wash water used for washing of the drill holes, it is during the construction, and then groundwater or a subsoil water. This is that we are going to get. So two sources of water that we are going to get in case of your the tunnel. One is your wash water used for washing the drill holes during your construction, and groundwater that is after the construction. Okay. Now the drainage system that we are going to have divide into the tunnel, that we are going to have the two types of drainage the system. One is the temporary drainage system, that is open, and the permanent drainage system. Now temporary drainage system, as we know, the temporary ventilation, it is used during your case of the construction, right? Temporary drainage system. Permanent drainage system, this is we are going to use it after the construction part. So temporary drainage system, it is further divided into two parts, that is open ditch drainage system and then pumping system. And then permanent drainage system, we are going to divide it into three parts, that is central drain system, corrugated sheet with the side drains, and then single side drain system. So these are the three systems, that is after the construction we are going to use the three system of the drainage system, that is permanent drainage system. We are going to have the three parts. Okay. So now we will see what is a central drainage system. Okay. Now what we will see what is a central drainage system. Okay. So here, as we know that in a tunnel, if you have gone through the tunnel, right? So here we are going to have the holes, right? Inside the tunnel we are going to have the holes. So why these holes are going to maintain? This is your tunnel lining, right? This is your tunnel lining. Now we are going to maintain the holes inside your the tunnel, right? We are going to maintain the holes inside the tunnel lining. The reason is the whatever the subsoil or the groundwater, whatever it is there, right? It is going to get percolated, and it has to enter through this tunnel, and then we are going to collect through the central drain. So these holes removes the from these particular holes, whatever the subsoil water is there, right? It is going to come and enter into these particular central drain. So this is going to reduce the pressure, your pressure on your tunnel lining. Okay. So this system is suitable when the water coming through the roof and the side walls of the tunnel is sufficiently low, right? So this system is going to be adopted. And then in this system, a central drainage ditch is going to be constructed longitudinally, sloping towards the portal from where they could be pumped out by the suitable pumps. So all the water which is going to come over here, since we are going to have a slope over here, all the water it is going to come and collected into the central drain. From the central drain, we are going to take out the water. So this is how you are going to maintain the drainage, right? Your central drain, this is after your permanent type of your drainage system. Then the single side drain system, right? This system is adopted when the quantity of water entering into the tunnel is very small. Okay. And the method is adopted in case of the single lane highway or railway track. Okay. So when the quantity of water is very small, we are going to adapt the single side drain system. And here we are going to adopt this in highways and the railways. Okay. And the sufficient for draining the water, the only a single side drain system is provided. Now we will see some of the your single sided drainage system. Yes. So this is what your only one single drain is there. So this is what the single side drain that we are going to use in the tunnel. Okay. So it is, see, you can see that this is the tunnel drainage system, right? Right. See here, this is nothing but this screens they have used underneath this, right? Here you can see the holes, right? Here you can see the holes. From these particular holes, what will happen? The water will enter, right? The water will enter, and it is going to be collected through through these particular drains, and the water is going to be get removed. Okay, so this is what how your single sided drains is going to be. This is a railway line, right? For this railway line, right? So here the drainage system has been adopted. Okay, so this is what your single sided your drainage system. Next is we will see open ditch drainage system. Okay, so this is the simplest method of tunnel through which the water may be moved. That is from the open ditches with the proper slopes to be to the portal and maybe uh, pumped out from there. Okay, it is suited in case of your impervious soil and rock bases. So it is an open ditch kind of a system. Then next is the pumping system. Okay, now the pumping system is when we are going to adapt. In case of the pumping system, the quantity of water, right? It is when we are going to use it when the quantity is huge, right? Then we are going to adopt the pumping system. Okay, for a long tunnel, right? This when the quantity of water is huge, right? So we are in these particular cases we will be adapting, right, the pumping system. In these particular cases we will be adapting the pumping system. For it is adapted for the long type of tunnels, right? So next is the in this the types of pump that we are going to adapt in case of your pumping system is we are going to have the piston type and central type centrifugal type of pumping system we are going to adopt. So this is regarding your drainaging of your tunnels. That is what we are going to have. This is how your drainaging is done, right? In your inside the tunnel. Now in previous class we were discussing regarding your tunnel lining, right? Now we'll with the brief with the tunnel lining we are going to discuss, right? We are going to discuss regarding tunnel lining. Yesterday, I have told you why tunnel lining is necessary, right? In the previous class, I have told you why tunnel lining is becoming necessary. Right? Can anybody tell me why tunnel lining is required? Yes. Can anybody tell me why tunnel lining is required? Nisar, why tunnel lining is required? Nisar Batgiri,
Yes, sir.
why tunnel lining is required?
Sir, to percolate the water from the tunnel.
I'm asking about tunnel lining. Hmm. I'm asking about tunnel lining, not tunnel drainage. Okay, tunnel lining is going to be provided in order to give the smooth finishes to your tunnel, right? It is going to give you the smooth finish to your tunnel. Okay, so it is the objective of your tunnel lining is it is for strengthening the sides and the roof to withstand, right, to withstand the pressure and prevent the tunnel from collapsing. It is going to give the smooth finish as well as it is going to give you the support to the tunnels, right? And it is going to provide the correct shape of the cross section to the tunnel. Okay, it is going to give you the correct shape to the tunnel. Then checking the leakage of water from the sides of the top. Okay, it is going to check the leakage where it is going to occur and reducing the maintenance cost of the tunnel. Okay, for all the reason it is going to give you the smooth finish. It is going to give the support to the inside interior part of the tunnel, right? It is going to strengthen the tunnel. It is going to give the proper stability. It is going to give the say loose rock and providing it is going to give the, so say suppose if there is a too much amount of water quantity is going to enter in case of your rainy season, then if you don't provide the tunnel lining, then entire tunnel may collapse, right, because of the too much of water amount of water percolation. So that is also one of the reason why we are going to provide the tunnel lining. So now what are the different materials we are going to have in case of your tunnel lining? We will be using brick masonry, then stone masonry, then timber, and then concrete lining. See, timber, we are it is an oldest method of tunnel lining, and it is, we are not going to utilize that timber nowadays, right? It may be used for supporting. It may be used for supporting during the construction part, but it cannot be used as a permanent support for your tunnel lining, because if water quantity is continuously, it is going to be in contact with the timber, as you know that timber may biodegrade, and it may decompose, right, and ultimately it is going to leave the collapse. So might be for having the temporary support, we may use the timber lining, but not for the continuous. It is an oldest method of lining, okay, and it is slowly yielding. It is now maximum we are going to replace it with the concrete lining. Okay, the concrete lining we are dependent upon. Okay, now stone masonry, right, it has more or less some of the disadvantages. Okay, whereas your but still, if you see the old structures of your tunnels, the old tunnel, right, you will be seeing that the tunnel that has been lined with these stone masonries. Okay, and then it has nowadays either stone masonry or brick masonry, right, that has been replaced by your concrete lining. See, in nowadays we will be utilizing these concrete lining, right, as we know that as the day passes, right, the strength of the concrete, it goes on increasing, right, so it is going to give you the firm support to the tunnel. So that is the reason why we will be utilizing this concrete lining for the tunnels. See, all other linings, your brick masonry, right, was the standard material. It was used earlier, but nowadays we are going to utilize the say why we are not going to utilize the brick masonry is, it may it as the water is going to be absorbed in the tunnel, the strength of the bricks is going to get reduced. So, and again, if we are going to have some acidic water inside it, then again it is going to lose its strength. So that is the reason why we have replaced it with the concrete lining. Now we will see some of the lining images, right? So that you are going to get an clear idea, right? So brick lining in the tunnels. These are the oldest. See, this is what the brick lining that we have used, right? That has been used earlier. This is what the brick lining, how we have used, right? How we have used. So this is the oldest one, right? This is what the abandoned rat hole tunnels. Okay, so this is the oldest one. Now we will see the rocks in tunnel lining. So this is your stones inside your tunnel lining. So these are the older structure, right? This is the older structure that we are using the stones in the tunnel linings. So this is how we are using it. Okay. So this is what the stone lining. Now we will see concrete. Concrete, you also have seen. This is what the concrete lining inside your tunnels. Right, it is going to provide, as the days are going to pass after the construction, the strength of concrete, it goes on increasing, and it is going to give the more durability, right? More durability and more the strength, load carrying capacity. So that is the reason why we will be normally utilizing these particular tunnel concrete liners as a tunnel lining material. Okay, so we have finished our third module, right? We have finished our third module of your RTH. We have finished the third module. That is completely, it has been finished completely. It is completely covered. So you can, meanwhile, you start to give your attendance. So for your internal, whatever covered after your first internal, right, tunnels, and then probably 1 week is there still. So in that 1 week, right, when is your internal? Do you have any idea when is your internal?
No, sir.
Okay, so whatever in this week, whatever we are going to cover, right, after the third module, next we are going to start with the airport planning, then airport design. So all three modules are completed: railway planning, railway construction and maintenance, it is over; harbor and tunnel engineering, it is over. So this much we have already covered, right? So this much we have already covered. See, we will see what has been left in our module 3. Planning, design of harbor requirements, classification, location and design, that has been already covered. Harbor layout, terminal facilities, coastal structures, right, inland water transport, wave action, right, and coastal protection work, it is completed. Tunnel introduction, size and shape of tunnel, tunneling methods, right, tunnel lining, tunnel drainage and tunnel ventilation. So module 3, it is completely covered. So in the, from the next class onwards, we are going to study regarding the airport, right? We are going to study regarding the airport planning and airport design. Okay, so you give your attendances in your chat box. We will end up the session over here.